to my mechanic. Yeah. I said it to an Army recruiter one time. That was awkward. I was like, okay, bye, I love you. He was like, don't ask, don't tell. I was like, one time I was talking to a guy who was bringing me in for a show, and I'm not even kidding you. I was like, okay, I think it's going to be fun. All right, I got to go. Bye, I love you. And without missing a beat, this guy goes, ta-ta, sugar booger. And then I was like, I don't even know if I want to meet him. To be fair, Chad and all turned out to be okay, but... And I had the worst phone in the world. Like, this happened today. I flew in and I was in Florida and I had to fly into Houston and then change planes. And I had to fly from Florida to Houston on United, which, I don't want to do a PSA up here, but if you got to fly, don't fly United. Because first of all, their planes are old and you can tell. Like when you walk on, it smells like your grandmother's closet. You know that smell? You're like, Nana? You know, right? And I got on this plane and there was like, and the flight attendants are always rude on United. I walked on the plane and I grabbed a pillow in first class and there was like this 3-foot male flight attendant who was like fresh out of the Shire standing there. He just grabbed the pillow out of my hand and he was like, these are for first class passengers, you're in coach. And I was going to argue with him, but he already put the ring on and disappeared. So, and when I fly United, I don't know what it is. I think they've marked me, maybe it's because I talk about them, but they put me in the middle seat between the 2 biggest guys on the plane every single time. I don't know how they do it, but they get the 2 biggest guys that are normally fresh back from the steroid convention thing. What's the steroid? Major League Baseball All-Star game. So, sorry. I'm not good at sports, but I'm afraid of needles. So, I don't know why I told you that. Oh, because I was going to say, like, sometimes people get in bad moods, and I think if you'll try to stay positive, that God will have a blessing for you later on, and just to be a good, Christian example of when you do bad things happen, and this is what happened. I got on the plane, and he grabbed the pillow out of my hand, and so I went down, and I was expecting a middle seat, but it wasn't. It was in the exit row, and I was kind of bummed because I'm a big reader. I'm like anti-TV. I think TV keeps you from having a creative mind. Books open it up, and so I like to read a lot. So I went to the library the night before to get a book, and for my flight, I got kicked out of the library because in Texas they have this weird rule that you can't evidently scream out loud in the middle of the library, which my argument is if you can't scream in the middle of the library, then don't put pop-up books in the library. I was like minding my own business. I was like, oh, Daniel the Lion's Den, I love that. So I got on the plane and I was actually kind of happy that I got a good seat. And when I sat down, here's where the blessing comes in. And I think constantly that God will do that. You know, you'll get through like bad times and then there's like blessings. And you got to keep that in mind because Satan wants you to think that it's going to be desperation all the time. And so what I did was I sat down and I wanted a book and I didn't have one, so I was like, I'm just going to try to sleep. But then the little flight attendant woke me up and he had to do his announcements. He's like, can everybody's attention, please? We represent the lollipop kid, the lollipop kid. He didn't do that. But at one point during the flight, I hit my call button and he came scurrying down. He was like, is there a problem? Because I'm not even supposed to be up now. And I wanted to go, not supposed to be up. You're not even supposed to be out of that chocolate factory. I didn't say that. Because I'm a Christian. But he was doing his announcements. I don't know if you guys fly a lot. And it's weird because I'm not one of these comics that talks about flights a lot, but I'm doing it now. But 2 announcements that really crack me up, or I think that at least need to be changed, is they say, one, in the event of a water crash landing, you can use your seat cushion as a flotation device. Well, I'm sorry, but if I'm ever in a crash, the seat cushion I was just sitting on. I don't want this thing anywhere near me. The other one that just really boggles my mind that they haven't changed is they say if the oxygen mask falls, I thought oxygen started flowing out of the tube immediately, but it doesn't. If you listen, they say tug lightly on the tube to start the flow of oxygen. Well, they didn't think that going 10,000 miles an hour in a mountain going, ah! I don't know, I looked in the back of the seat back, and it was awesome. I had this book to read. It was a great little blessing, and it was an animal book, and I looked for ways to try to find just awesome glorification to God, and it was an animal book of things I didn't know about animals that I thought showed God's creativity. Like one, I thought it was cool that snakes smell with their tongue. And the most amazing thing was that God didn't give that to us. I was so glad. How often would church be? You know, hey, come here. Love that perfume. And then the other thing that I thought was really cool was that when bees find pollen, they go back to the hive, and because bees can't talk, because they only know the one word, you know, which is, and that's limiting when you're giving directions. They go back to the hive, and this is totally true. Bees will go back to the hive and do a dance. And they do a little dance, and you guys know this? I didn't know this, because I went to public school. And bees will do a dance, and other bees just watch them, and then they automatically know where the pollen is. You cannot tell me our God is not creative. That a little bee could go to a hive and be like, and other bees are like, oh, the honey's at a country western bar. You know, although I was reading that thinking, I'm Church of Christ. If I was a bee, I couldn't say anything. You're like, pollen over there. Over there. I try to be a good father. I try to do things that I think is smart. We're potty training our kid, Xander, our youngest kid, Xander, and I thought I was being smart because my wife was like, you know, if he goes to the bathroom, you give him a treat, you give him a cookie. So I'm in there going, okay, Xander, if you'll go, I'll give you a cookie. And then I thought, wait a minute, what am I doing? It's because of the cookie that we are in here in the first place. If I give him another one, I'm creating an eternal circle, right? So I thought I had a great idea. So I'm in there going, okay, if you'll go, I'll give you a big block of cheese. Come on, go water for a week. Come on. My wife's like, okay, I'll take it from here. That's another thing. When you are looking for a spouse, you have to pick a spouse that will put God before you, but then nobody else. And if you do that, it's going to be an amazing time. And I did it because I was in constant prayer about my spouse. She's so laid back and cool. Except for ironically, 2 days ago, she got mad because she opened up the washing machine and somebody had left a little thing of yak, which is like a slimy stuff, in the washing machine. It got over everything. And what's worse is the kids denied it. So for like 2 days, she was so angry. And then finally I had to step in and get my kids together. And I was like, listen to me, one of you needs to just admit it so we can go on with our lives. And they were like, we didn't do it. And I was like, I know, because it was me. But listen, one of you go admit it now. That is why I had you. And I'm always trying to do good father things. And when I think I'm doing it, it's not good,